It's Friday, November 2nd, and this is your Barbados Today Evening News Update. So glad you can join us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Workers at the state-owned Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation will not only stay put for the time being, but they will get a 5% increase like other government workers. Word of this came today after some 4 hours of talks between the employees' bargaining agent, the Barbados Workers Union, and CBC management. Veteran trade unionist and BWU consultant Sir Roy Trotman updated workers on the way forward at the end of the meeting.
Our meeting today was one where we discussed not just the question of any layoff, but we also looked at the matter of some outstanding issues. And those outstanding issues related, as Kent, who is the president of CBC division here, would tell you that we had to deal with the matter of the outstanding 5%. We also had to deal with the matter of outstanding increments, which was a matter that we stood up outside here at CBC for last year. And we have reached agreement on those two matters. The question that will outstand is how the money will be paid, whether it will be paid in cash or in bonds, but we will have that as an ongoing discussion. And then the company raised the matter of their need to restructure. We made the suggestion to them that they should in fact follow more closely the provisions within the Act, and particularly the understanding that we have arrived at regarding the protocol of the social partnership. And the CBC was very conscious that that is something which may not have been done exactly how it should be done. So they agreed that they will hold fire and have further discussions on it among themselves. And we have agreed to come back at 2:30 on Monday to start looking at the question of rationalization.
Last evening, Sir Roy had similar talks with the management of the Transport Board on pending layoffs.
The Transport Board yesterday put a proposal, a very specific proposal, regarding laying off about 50 persons or so. These are persons who receive letters of appointment sometime in April of this year. We have to meet those workers and discuss the matter with them, possibly on Monday. They then generally spoke about the plans that the Transport Board has for seeing how the Transport Board will proceed over the next few years. So there were no specific proposals about anybody leaving, but there are proposals about a broader picture which would allow for the numbers to be streamlined, which may have to do with the view that that Transport Board has for how buses will be ordered, how buses will be operated, who may own buses, but nothing that could establish itself as being a proposal.
The Barbados Defense Force is here to stay. Word of this from Attorney General Dale Marshall as he defended the military group in the face of questions raised about its youthfulness. Speaking at a presentation ceremony hosted by the Defense Force today at St. Anne's Fort, he dispelled the notion that the unit has been reduced to nothing more than a disaster response agency.
And let me state emphatically, the BDF is not merely an organization with manpower for disaster relief. What the Barbados Defense Force is the defender of our nation. And while some may assert with some enthusiasm that there are no external threats to Barbados, our Barbadian military is responsible for the preservation of a safe and peaceful environment in our homeland, which is conducive for national development. The mandate of the Barbados Defense Force is to defend Barbados from internal and external threats to the national security of this island. And the threats we face are transnational and transregional, multidimensional, and often originate from stateless entities. And while we may not be fighting a war in the sense of the Great Wars of 1914 to 18 or World War II, 1939 to 1945, the contemporary security environment provides sufficient reason to maintain military organization.
Marshall added that in the face of growing security threats, the defense force is needed now more than ever.
And although risk, danger, and death are all factors of war and, in fact, any modern conflict, those elements too have been redefined. Risk, danger, and death not only impact personal safety and lives, but there's also the destruction of our economies through such things as cyber attacks, social degradation as a result of illicit drugs and other forms of transnational crimes, the effect of terrorist networks, and now coming into sharp focus the destabilizing capacity of such things as climate change and the increased intensity of natural hazards.
The Central Bank of Barbados today advised that the restructured securities on the government's new debt offer will now be issued on November 15. The new securities were expected to be issued by October 31st, but the bank explained that technical and data issues had delayed the process. The bank also reminded investors that they will receive e-statements and not physical certificates for the new instruments. 97% of the participants in the debt swap accepted the new offer, which includes a reduction in interest rates, an extension of maturities, and selective principal reductions. In sports, Deandra Doughton crafted an unbeaten 43 to help Windies women defeat England by 5 wickets in an unofficial warm-up match ahead of the start of the ICC Women's World T20 on Thursday night. Playing before a crowd of over 5,000 fans at the Sir Vivian Richards Cricket Ground, the home side bowled out the visitors for 116 in 19.5 overs, with spinners Afi Fletcher and Anisia Mohammed being the main destroyers. The bowling effort was helped by some superb fielding and catching, which saw 2 stunning running catches by Chanel Henry and a brilliant dive, pick-up and throw by Doughton to effect a run-out.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional happenings now, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit said his administration is prepared to take legal action against U.S.-owned Ross University regarding the ownership and occupation of buildings on lands that were leased to the offshore medical institution that has since relocated to Barbados. Speaking at a meeting with Dominicans residing overseas, Skerrit said that Dominica had entered into an agreement for the lease of the land in the north of the island where the university had located its campus. He maintains that under the deal, the land belongs to Dominica and Ross needs to hand over the buildings as soon as possible. He made it clear that if they refuse, his government is prepared to take Ross to court. Meanwhile, Skerrit revealed that Dominica is in discussions with at least 4 entities for a replacement to Ross University. Further afield, former U.S. President Barack Obama warned on Friday against rhetoric he said was designed to sow fear as he campaigned in support of Democratic candidates, while President Donald Trump hammered at a hardline anti-immigration message to energized Republicans.
If we get out and vote, if we get out and organize, if we vote like our lives depend on it, we can have that kind of state. But we cannot do it without you. So y'all, let's bring it home. Let's bring it home. Let's bring it home. Well, listen. Now I have the opportunity to bring to the stage y'all gotta let me get his name out, please. I want to now ask that you give a South Florida welcome to our forever president, Barack Obama.
So America's at a crossroads. The health care of millions is on the ballot. Making sure working families get a fair shake is on the ballot. But maybe most of all, the character of our country is on the ballot. In the closing weeks of this election, we have seen repeated attempts to divide us with rhetoric designed to make us angry and make us fearful. That's designed to exploit our history of racial and ethnic and religious division that pits us against one another, to make us believe that order will somehow be restored if it just weren't for those folks who don't look like we look, or don't love like we love, or pray like we do.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Isley Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Do have a wonderful weekend.